If this isn't proof that it's totally okay not to be married by 30, I'm in the Sahara Desert with 18 incredible women about to go ride camels in the sunset.
I'm just having a really hard day and trying to get ready.
That women tend to be happier when they are single.
I could have married a lot of the people that I've dated.
Okay, I turned 40 this year, and I've never been in love. I've never been in a relationship.
If you hear something or an update about your ex, and it just kills you.
Women tend to be happier when they are single.
Struggling financially, being alone, having no one there to talk to as you age, no kids.
And I always thought I would have kids. I thought I would be married by now. And now the closer I get to it, and I'm scared. I don't know.
I didn't think it would be an issue. I'm 32 years old.
I'm 53. I would like to think that I'm still young, right?
Being a single mom is really hard.
Being a single mom is literally the hardest shit ever. Like, you cannot do anything.
If you've gone through a divorce, I just need to know, does it get easier? Does it get easier?
This single mom is starting to get to me, okay? It's starting to get to me.
My ex and I divorced after 23 years of marriage, and it's been almost 2 years. It has been the hardest, most loneliest time of my life.
It's not even like a husband and wife thing. He was my only friend for 5 years.
Would you believe me if I said I would give up all the money I got, all the followers I got, all the social media just to have true love? I'll go back to making $10, $12, $15 an hour if I could just be happy with somebody.
One thing that nobody talks about in divorce or prepares you for is the vast loneliness. You feel so lonely.
So I'm 6 months post-divorce, and I have officially graduated from being alone and loving it, loving my space, to, as of today, like tonight, lonely.
I don't know when it's supposed to get easier. I don't know if it ever will. I don't know if this is just the pain I feel forever.
Yesterday, when I was scrolling through TikTok, I saw a video from a Wall Street journalist talking about the divorce rate in Kentucky. And she claimed that the divorce rate in Kentucky is declining significantly compared to the rest of the country, like a 25% decrease.
Divorce rates are dropping in Kentucky. I went there to figure out why. In 2018, Kentucky became the first state to make 50-50 shared custody the default. That means that children split their time equally between both parents, and fathers pay less in child support the more time that they spend with their children. Before that, judges decided custody based on what they called the best interest of the child. Fathers said that usually relegated them to an every other weekend arrangement, the so-called Disneyland dad effect, while mothers got to spend most of the time with their children. Since the law passed, divorce rates have dropped. Between 2016 and 2023, divorces in the state fell 25%, compared to 18% nationwide. It's hailed as a victory for fathers' rights, but the story is more complicated. Some critics of the law say that people are staying in abusive marriages because they're afraid of leaving their children alone with a parent with a history of violence. One mom told me that her husband nearly killed her in 2023. She filed criminal charges and he was arrested. But less than 2 weeks after he got out of jail, a judge awarded him 50% custody of their son, indicating that the abuse wasn't a factor since he didn't lay hands on the child. The law has become a model for other states. Arkansas, West Virginia, Florida, and Missouri have passed their own versions of the equal custody presumption. Around 20 other states are considering it.
70% of divorces are initiated by women. And as a divorce lawyer, I can tell you that women are not divorcing men because they're bored or ungrateful.
That's not true. We'd all know women divorce dudes because they just feel like it. See, when the courts incentivize women, when they give them alimony, child support, assets, the house, of course women are gonna be like, man, I'm gonna take that deal. I'm gonna take as much as I can. I'm gonna make you look like the bad person. I'm gonna falsely accuse you of stuff in court. And then after that, I'm gonna go on and go in the streets. I'm gonna go date. I'm gonna do whatever I want. It's a sick business, man. If you're a man and you still get married, man, listen, you a fool.
They're divorcing because they're tired of doing everything.
There are reports coming out of Kentucky that the divorce rate has completely plummeted. 25%. It's gone down 25%. Like, That's significant. You know, when the divorce rate nationally rests, I don't know, I think a little bit above 50%, to have it drop 25% in one state means to pay attention. It's a reason to pay attention. The only explanation there is for this is because Kentucky passed a law that all custody settlements start exactly 50-50 between the parents. In other words, Kentucky has removed the mother bias that exists across the board in this country when it comes to divorce and custody. As a result, the divorce rate has plummeted. Huh, that's interesting. It makes one wonder a bit, doesn't it? It makes one wonder if there is an incentive to get divorced. You know, or a reward, a financial reward for getting divorced. And as soon as you get rid of that reward or that incentive, that's interesting. Every state needs to pass this law.
I was just walking down the street to go get my medication because I'm out and I need it for today. And I saw a woman walking her 2 kids, and she had this look on her face. And I looked at her, we made eye contact, and we both kind of nodded. Like we were both just devastated. And you could just tell in her eyes.
Being single is only shit if you think it's shit. Hear me out. Angel, you're not behind. I'm 29. I've just moved back in with my parents. I've just come out of a 2-year relationship to someone that I thought I was going to get married and have kids with. Circumstances meant that I had to move out of the apartment pretty quick, and I was in love with my apartment, and I was in love with where I was living. I was living like a street back from the beach. This was something that I'd manifested. This is something that I'd wanted for so long. And now I'm in suburbia, nowhere near a beach, nowhere near my friends. I'm driving like an hour and a half every day, every couple of days to go and see them and just like try and keep some normality in my life. Everything has just suddenly changed. My ex and I were supposed to travel Europe this year. We had plans to travel. We had plans. Our word for the year, you know, New Year's. We broke up shortly after New Year's.
Rejected. Men out here thinking that sex is enough. A man will never be around me thinking sex is enough. No, bitch. I don't give a fuck about your sex. I want your soul and what's in your bank account.
Do you think after a divorce, it's fair to have a 50-50 split of assets?
Fuck no. That is ridiculous to me. Like, no.
Oh, I saw some eyebrows. I'm looking forward to these explanations.
I think what you bring into the marriage is what you should leave with. I think a prenuptial agreement should just always be a mandatory thing that you do.
Look how she's looking. Because she's like, I ain't in agreement with that. I want that money. I want those cash and prizes. Forget a prenup.
Because like, how are you going to explain, say a guy and his family have like had a family owned business and then he marries some girl and then they've got to halve that? I think that's ridiculous. I think you need to, unless that girl wants to like be a more submissive partner, but if most women aren't these.
What if when you file for divorce, you knew that your spouse would get 50-50 custody? Would that affect your decision? Kentucky has a law where 50-50 is the default. Now, obviously, there are exceptions if there's, you know, domestic violence or whatever, but the default is 50-50. So not like Detroit where the default is every other weekend. If you knew your ex was going to get the kids 50% of the time right off, would that affect your decision to file for divorce?
Today, this country has proven to us that they hate women, and I fear that things are not going to get better. This is not moving in the direction of things becoming better.
Trying to stay calm today. Woke up this morning. Decided that we were wearing all black today because it is the death of the country as we know it.
One state just nuked its divorce rates by doing one rare thing that the rest of America would never dare. They made 50-50 custody the default. If there's no abuse, fathers get equal time with the children, plain and simple. And the divorce rates imploded overnight in Kentucky. When women realize they can't weaponize the kids, they think twice before filing for divorce. And the system that runs on male disposability, well, when you take that away, suddenly irreconcilable differences doesn't sound so irreconcilable anymore.
Did you know one state accidentally discovered the secret to saving marriages by changing custody laws? In 2018, Kentucky became the first state to make joint custody the default in divorce cases. Instead of bitter winner-takes-all custody battles, courts now start with equal shared parenting time. The result? Kentucky's divorce rate dropped 25% from 2016 to 2023. That's way better than the nationwide decrease of just 18%. Here's why it works. Parents no longer fight dirty because neither faces losing their kids. The financial games disappeared overnight. No more weaponizing children for bigger settlements. Experts say couples now work harder on their marriages because shared custody means they'll still need to communicate and cooperate after divorce. Following Kentucky's lead, Arkansas, West Virginia, Florida, and Missouri passed similar laws. 20 other states are considering it.
Did you know that equal shared parenting laws decrease divorce rates? Well, it's true, and Kentucky proved it. In 2018, Kentucky passed a 50-50 equal shared parenting law. And since then, divorce rates have slowly declined. 25% declined, to be exact. Now, I know what some of these crazy toxic women are out here going to say. Well, that's because women are locked in their marriages. No. That's because instead of walking away and thinking that they can weaponize the family courts to take the kids and get a shit ton of money, women realize that that's no longer possible in the state of Kentucky. So they're staying. They're working on their marriage. They're going to marriage counseling. And they're making it work in the best interest of their families. But the divorce system, where there's no fault and where there's no 50-50, it's easy for a woman to walk away because she knows she's going to get the lion's share of the assets. She's probably going to get majority custody, and she's probably going to get child support. So what's keeping her there? If it's not the perfect situation and it's not Prince Charming like in the movies, she doesn't want to stay. Toxic women will choose their happiness over their family. Men every day will choose their family over their own happiness.
I'll bet you didn't know that if you make custody hearings and divorce proceedings 50-50 to start, you actually reduce divorce by 25%. At least that's the example we have from Kentucky. Now, of course, the Wall Street Journal tried to paint this in a bad light. They said a law setting 50-50 shared custody as state standard is hailed as a victory for fathers, but critics say it puts mothers and children at risk. 50-50 custody to start the proceedings puts children at risk? That is such a fucking weird statement to make. Because this doesn't change anything. Like if someone's abusive, or someone's a bad parent, or somebody's on drugs. No, this just means that when you start your divorce proceeding, we start from an assumed position of where the parents are equal. You know, where their custody of the child is equal. How the fuck does that put mothers and children at risk? It doesn't. All this said was that both parents are equal. Ladies, this is equality. This is what it's like when both men and women are viewed on an equal plane. And just to be very clear, seeing the parents as equal is what it should be.